Hello, my name is Patrick McDonald. I'm living here in Ottawa in Canada, and I'd like to tell you a little bit of a story about the famine period here in Ottawa. A story that's often missed is that people obviously came to Grosse Ile and moved along to Kingston, and then some of them eventually ended up in this area here, which is Ottawa, capital city of Canada. Now, the reason why I say this story is that it's important to know that the canal from Kingston to Ottawa is about 151 miles in distance. And this canal was built as a result of the wars in Europe from Napoleonic Wars. Subsequent to that, which was, well, the canal itself was built by the Irish primarily. Now, they built Bytown in Ottawa. Now, Lower Town is an area which is obviously the swamp area in the city of Ottawa at the time. Now, in 1846, 1847, the famine had occurred in Ireland, and many of them had eventually ended up in this area, which ended up on the top of which is Bytown now, where the Basilica, which is the church up there, the families were moved down into this area, into Lower Town. It was the poor area where they were huts and various things like that. It was also the area of famine, typhoid, and all the terrible things that had happened to them at the time, and many of them had died. The graveyard was at the church, which subsequently in most recent years were actually exhumed and moved elsewhere. And those families were moved to, or those graves were moved there, but it was eventually built, which is an art centre today. The St. Brigid Church was the church built by the Irish of Lower Town, direct descendants of the famine. Now, to make that connection, the important thing about it to know is that, as I said earlier, was that the distance between Kingston and Ottawa was in miles. The engineer, if we call him as such, was a Mr. Lyons, who built the building itself, the church, and he put in 1 foot to represent a mile of the canal, to represent the movement of the people from the canal from Kingston up to here. And that is the height of the church today. Also, story is that he also found a beam which was used from a famine ship, which was put into the rectory of the old rectory of the house where the priest lived, to commemorate the losses of families from Ireland and their movement to here. So the connection with St. Brigid is probably an important thing, kind of at the end of a journey, at the end of a time, at the end of a life for many of them, because many of them didn't make it this far. But to come from Ireland, to come to the land where many of them were buried, because Elizabeth Brouillet was the nun who had looked after many of the families and the kids and children and stuff that had survived, and then eventually go on to build the church itself down there, is kind of the end of a road for many of these people. And the reason why I'm saying that is we are trying to present and maintain this building today, because my sister, who you might get to meet in a minute, is also involved in this building, and we hope to be able to preserve it in memory of those people. Thank you.